America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Alex, if you'd please take us through roll call.
Counselor Thompson.
Here.
Counselor Demas.
Here.
Counselor Pedri.
Here.
Counselor Hickerson.
Here.
Counselor Sadi.
Here.
Counselor Hanson.
Here.
Counselor Vitolo.
Here.
Counselor Robinson.
Also here.
Mayor Mickelson.
Here. That brings us to our consent agenda. Up first, we have the City Council meeting minutes of November 19th, 2024. The Joint Powers Telecom Board meeting minutes of October 17th, 2024. The Specific Purpose Tax Joint Powers Board meeting minutes of October 21st, 2024. The Joint Powers Combined Communication meeting minutes of October 28th, 2024. And a letter from Mayor Mickelson regarding the city's contribution to a citizens' lapel pin collection. Council, do we have a motion?
So moved, Your Honor.
Thank you, Councilor Hickerson. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Demas. Is there any discussion? Oh, no, there's no discussion there. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? Motion carries unanimously, bringing us to our bid openings for the City of Rock Springs WWTP Solar Sledge Drying System Edition. The first bid is from Bodell Construction Company from Salt Lake City, Utah. Okay, there is a bid bond, and the total bid amount is $12,661,450. That total again is $12,661,450.
You're so sweet.
And the next is from Gerber Construction from Lehigh, Utah. There's a bid bond. And the total bid amount is $17,753,000. That amount again is $17,753,000. Okay, that brings us to our presentations and proclamations, and we only have one this evening for Wyoming Masons Day. So if you all would like to approach the podium and address us, that would be wonderful.
City Council, Mayor Max, these are some of the members of the 140 or so members of Rock Springs Lodge number 12. We wanted to come. We appreciate the little deal you're going to do for us tonight. 150 years of masonry in Wyoming, and it just so happens that on this day in 1889, Rock Springs Lodge number 12 was started. And so on this day, we're celebrating 135 years. Masonry, as many know, is a fraternity that men belong to. And as I look around the room, I know some of us come from long Masonic families. Brother David, his dad, his brothers, all belong. Max, your whole family's been involved for a long time. And I think if all of us look at our history somewhere down the line, we will find that we had a Mason in our family lineage somewhere. You may not recognize us as Masons. You might know that there's offshoot groups like the Shrine and Eastern Star and Job's Daughters and Pima, all that base their foundation on Masonry. So we're pleased to still be here after 135 years and 150 years in Wyoming, and we appreciate this chance to visit with you tonight. So I would like also to introduce the guys that I have here. So Brother Dave Darlington, Randy Proviance, Joe Sierra, Steve Pacheco, and a special guest that we have, and you all know him, but he is the most worshipful Grandmaster of Masons in Wyoming, Brother Scott A. Kitchener. Scott, would you like to say a word? Not really. As Grandmaster, you find out that every time you go somewhere, you gotta say something, and I'm never prepared to say anything, so. But no, I really do appreciate the mayor and the council for allowing us to come here tonight and honoring us with a proclamation celebrating 150 years of masonry. We have 41 constituent lodges in the state of Wyoming, spread all over the state, from Jackson to Cheyenne to Evanston to Rock Springs, Green River, I mean, all over the place. We have around 2,200 members. We do have one historic lodge that's South Pass City. That's the very first Masonic lodge in the state of Wyoming. We just got a historic lodge created like 2 years ago. So first one ever in Wyoming, so we're pretty proud of that. And like I say, the one thing that I'm most proud of is being the Grand Master of Masons in Wyoming, but also being a member of Rock Springs Lodge 12. And a little history, I'm the first Grand Master from Rock Springs in over 74 years. So that's pretty astonishing, pretty good for our lodge. I always say that I'm more proud of being a member of Rock Springs Lodge than I'm a Grand Master, but it comes here or there. But I really do appreciate this. And part of my years, we're having a lot of the lodges go around and doing things like this, with getting recognition and getting out there in the community, because a lot of people don't know. And we've been around this community for 135 years. You probably go downtown right now, and people would not know, that we've been around here that long. So it's a very good organization. Like I said, there's a lot of you that have family and been members of it and that. So I just appreciate you all of us coming to that. So thank you very much.
Well, thank you all. Council, do you have any comments or questions? Okay, very good. With that, on December 15th, 1874, the Grand Lodge of Ancient, Free, and Accepted Masons of Wyoming was chartered in the territory of Wyoming in Laramie City, Wyoming. Wyoming's Grand Lodge of Ancient, Free, and Accepted Masons celebrates 150 years of Masonry on December 15th, 2024. Rock Springs Lodge number 12 of the Ancient, Free, and Accepted Masons was chartered by the Most Worshipful Grand Lodge of the Ancient and Free Accepted Masons of Wyoming on December 3rd, 1889 in the city of Rock Springs, and is celebrating its 135th anniversary on this date. Wyoming Masonic Lodges promote strong bonds among members, serving communities and charitable endeavors through a brotherhood of shared experiences and a dedication to moral principles. For the past 150 years, the Most Worshipful Grand Lodge of Ancient, Free, and Accepted Masons and the members of Rock Springs Lodge number 12 have generously given their time, talents, and resources to better their communities. Now therefore be it resolved that I, Max Mickelson, Mayor of the City of Rock Springs, do hereby declare December 15th, 2024 to be Wyoming Masons Day in the City of Rock Springs, in honor of their 150th anniversary, and extend sincere gratitude to its officers and members, past and present, for their accomplishments, commitment, and dedication to the Rock Springs community as a model of courtesy and caring. Okay, very good.
I might add one more thing. I introduced everybody but myself. I do that a lot. I'm John Krupicich. I'm the master of Rock Springs Lodge.
Alright, guys, ready? Yay. 1, 2, 3. How about one more? Just in case someone would like it. Awesome, guys. Thank you.
And now it has me concerned that it's interpreted was referred to. I said yes, but maybe it wasn't.
It's good. December when they.
Okay, very good. That brings us to petitions and public comment. If there's anybody here who'd like to address us, please approach the podium, introduce yourself, and which organization, if any, you represent.
Mr. Mayor, members of the City Council, my name is Clark Stith, and for the next 28 days, I will be the representative for House District 48. I just wanted to come by and say thanks. You've been great to work with. I think we really were able to get a lot of things done. It's been an honor and a privilege for me over the last 7 years to serve in the Wyoming legislature, and I thought we had an unusually productive and good relationship. We were able to get things done, made some progress on a number of projects that you're familiar with, made a bit of progress on the Bitter Creek project and even the wastewater treatment plant project that you're having bid opening for tonight, funded in part, I believe, through some federal funds that we're able to allocate through the legislative process. So I just want to say thanks very much, and I really appreciate all that what you do. You guys keep the city on an even keel. So thank you very much.
Council,
Your Honor.
start on the left.
Well, also for the next 28 days, I'll be the second Ward 1 counselor. So we're both short timers at this point. But I wanted to tell you that I really appreciate the time and effort that you've made coming in here and keeping us updated on everything going on. And it's been very refreshing to have a politician, for lack of a better term, be as open and transparent as you've been with us. Thank you.
Thank you.
I just want to kind of echo a lot of that too. I appreciate everything you've done over the years, and the relationship and working with you has been, I think it's been great. Your advocacy for our community has been one I haven't seen from a lot of people, so it's greatly appreciated.
Your Honor. We're going to miss you. I mean, you kept us informed and with great advice, so we will miss you, Clark. Thank you for your service.
Likewise. Thank you.
I would also like to thank you. You did great work for Sweetwater County.
Thank you.
For my part, I would just like to say that you will most certainly be missed in this role, but we hope that we continue to see you around, and that Representative-elect McCann has some fairly big shoes to fill to bring the advocacy and success and communication that you provided to our community. Will be a difficult task to equal. So thank you, Clark.
Well, thank you very much. It's been an honor and privilege, and I wish you the best. I'm sure you'll do well and continue the good work with the rest of the legislative delegation as time goes forward. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Would anyone else like to address the council? Okay, seeing no one, we'll move on to bills and claims, beginning with the bills and claims for December 3rd, 2024. Council, do we have a motion?
Your Honor.
Woo! Yes, Councilor Hickerson.
I move to approve the bills and claims for December 3rd, 2024.
Very good. Do we have a second? Is there a second?
He may need an escort after the meeting.
Your Honor, actually, I think Demas was first on there.
Thank you.
Tragically, I could only hear Larry.
Yeah, he's louder than me by far.
Councilor Demas, are you saying you'll be the second?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Is there
4 years for that.
any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining?
Abstaining.
Okay. The motion carries with
Larry threw him off.
Councilors Petrie and Thompson abstaining.
Go ahead.
Okay, next up, we have the salaries for November 22nd, 2024. Council, do we have a motion?
You can do it.
No, go ahead. I beat you. I win.
Your Honor,
Councilor Hanson?
I move to approve the salaries for November 22nd, 2024.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Batolo. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining?
Abstaining.
Okay, the motion carries with Councilors Thompson and Petrie abstaining. Bringing us to new business. First up, we have a request from the Parks and Recreation Department for permission to fill a vacant recreation supervisor position at the Civic Center. Council, do we have a motion?
So
Here.
moved.
Thank you, Councilor Batolo. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Counselor Demas. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? Motion carries unanimously, taking us to a request from the Parks and Recreation Department for permission to apply for a grant with the Urban and Community Forestry Program through the Wyoming State Forestry Division for the Tree Planting Cost Share Program and the amount of $1,000. Do we have a motion?
Your Honor,
Counselor Hanson.
I move to approve this request.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
I think Counselor PG had you by just a hair.
I didn't say anything.
Oh, you didn't? Was that Thompson? Oh, sorry. I just knew it came from the right. Okay, Counselor Thompson had you by just a hair.
Larry yelling in your ear.
Yeah.
Got him
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? Motion carries unanimously, and I'm going to blame the frivolity of the holiday season for that one. Request from the Finance Department for approval of a Southwest Wyoming Airport fly local travel policy. Do we have a motion? Counselor Zadi?
I would move to approve this request.
Thank you. Do we? Oh, sorry.
I feel it is really kind of prudent of us to do this in the first place to support our local airport and that. And I think if people really did look at what the cost is associated with time, parking, and everything else, they'd find that Rock Springs is a really good place to fly out of rather than going to Salt Lake or other places. So.
Great. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Counselor Robinson.
Oh, that was Brett.
That was you. Listen, it is harder than you could guess when two people are almost at the same moment to pick out which one it was. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? Motion carries unanimously, taking us to our first resolution, Resolution 2024-170.
A resolution accepting and approving a contract between the City of Rock Springs, Wyoming and Inliner Solutions LLC in the amount of $2,186,040 and authorizing Max Mickelson as mayor and Matthew L. McBurnett as city clerk to execute said contract on behalf of the City of Rock Springs.
Thank you. Council, do we have a motion?
Your Honor,
Counselor Demas.
I make a motion to approve Resolution 2024-170.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Counselor Hickerson. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? Motion carries unanimously, taking us to Resolution 2024-171.
A resolution accepting and approving a revised job description for the position of Building Maintenance Supervisor at pay grade 110 for the City of Rock Springs, Wyoming.
Thank you. Council, do we have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Councilor Robinson. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Hickerson. Is there any discussion?
Yes, I'd like to thank JJ for sending out the explanation for that. Kind of cleared it up. It's
very good.
Instead of just throwing it out there. Thanks.
Excellent. Okay, any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstaining? Motion carries unanimously, which brings us to Resolution 2024-172.
A resolution accepting and approving a memorandum of understanding between the City of Rock Springs, Wyoming and the Rock Springs Amateur Hockey Association and authorizing Max Mickelson as mayor of the City of Rock Springs, Wyoming and Matthew L. McBurnett as city clerk of the City of Rock Springs, Wyoming to execute said memorandum of understanding on behalf of said city.
Thank you. Council, do we have a motion?
Your Honor,
Councilor Hanson.
I move to approve Resolution 2024-172.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Bartolo. Is there any discussion?
Your Honor.
Councilor Hickerson.
Will this ability to access this live stream be available on the city website?
No, it's through, oh God, what's that called? I have a Live Barn. Thank you. I have a subscription to it because when your kids travel for hockey, right? So you have to access it through their service.
NHS.
Live barn. I've had it for a long time.
Just another bill.
Isn't it
Tragically.
Live barn?
Yeah.
It's live barn.
Yeah.
I think it is.
Yeah. But it will facilitate when teams travel here, and then, grandparents and people who couldn't be there in person or, can watch their kids play. So it's a pretty standard in rinks. But yeah. Good.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? Motion carries unanimously, bringing us to Resolution 2024-173.
A resolution accepting and approving an agreement to purchase real property between McCurtain Rentals and the City of Rock Springs, Wyoming, and authorizing Max Mickelson as mayor and Matthew L. McBurnett as city clerk to execute said agreement on behalf of the City of Rock Springs.
Thank you. Council, there was a titling issue with the land. If you would like to, Mr. Beckwith, run us through that before I ask for an amendment.
Yes, it's going to require just an amendment to the attachment to the resolution, which is the contract between us and the seller, McCurtain Rentals. Because the legal description in the contract has changed. I got the documents back from the title company yesterday, and that required a change in the contract to specify the legal description. So the only difference is the legal description. It's more precise.
Okay, Council, I'd look for a motion to amend.
Your Honor,
Councilor Zadi.
I'd make a motion to amend the legal description as adjusted.
Thank you. Is there a second? Councilor Robinson seconded. Very good. Is there any discussion?
Your Honor,
Councilor Hickerson.
what were we purchasing this property for the use of?
It's used by the URA for the pocket park just past the underpass.
Okay.
And we've rented it forever, but they seem to be intent on continuing to have the pocket park. So it seemed cleaner to just take possession.
Thank you.
Very good.
Honor.
Yes, sir.
Is this going to require a lot of maintenance or?
Not any more than is being done now.
Okay.
It's their project and they run it. And so, among many other things that they run.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Further discussion of the amendment? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? Okay, motion carries. So now I would look for a motion to approve the resolution as amended.
Your Honor,
Councilor Hickerson.
move to approve the amended version of 2024, Resolution 2024-173.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Thompson. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? Motion carries unanimously, taking us to Resolution 2024-174.
A resolution accepting and approving an administrative services agreement with Blue Cross Blue Shield of Wyoming and authorizing and directing Max Mickelson as mayor of the City of Rock Springs, Wyoming, to execute said agreement on behalf of the city.
Thank you. Council, do we have a motion? So moved, Your Honor. Thank you, Councilor Robinson. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Demus. Is there any discussion? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? Motion carries unanimously, taking us to our penultimate resolution, 2024-175.
A resolution accepting and approving a summary of benefits and coverage, SBC, from Blue Cross Blue Shield of Wyoming and authorizing and directing Max Mickelson as mayor of the City of Rock Springs, Wyoming, to execute said SBC approval on behalf of the City of Rock Springs.
Thank you. Council, do we have a motion?
So moved, Your Honor.
Thank you, Councilor Hickerson. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Pedri. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? Okay, motion carries unanimously. For our final item of business tonight, Resolution 2024-176.
A resolution accepting and approving Amendment Number 1 to the Sweetwater County Detention Center Offender Detention Agreement with Sweetwater County and authorizing Max Mickelson as mayor of the city of Rock Springs to execute said addendum on behalf of said city.
Thank you. Council, do we have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Councilor Robinson. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Demus. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? Motion carries unanimously. So we are now on to council updates. It's your opportunity to share anything that you would like with the public.
Your Honor,
Yes, sir.
I had Mark Piaya with Remedies call the other day and ask if we could, on snow days, push the snow to the middle of Broadway here and then scoop it up afterwards. He's worried about the older folks and how hard it is to get from the sidewalk to their cars and stuff when it's pushed. But I guess it used to be done, and I don't know if it's not done that way anymore.
Your Honor, Counselor Batolo, I don't see any way to do that without closing the road. We don't have adequate width on that roadway to plow snow to the middle unless we had the manpower and the equipment to pick it up instantly.
Okay.
You know, we don't have the width like Pinedale where they can plow it and take up, you know, 2 lanes in the middle and leave through traffic. I just don't see any way to do that unless, like I said, unless we staff up and get more equipment to pick it up instantly as we do it.
I told him I thought that was the issue, but anyway.
Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
I've had the same requests on a couple occasions. I've kind of explained it the same way that Paul just did. Is that something that the council could look at in the future to try to maybe fund the extra positions, the equipment, and able to do it immediately? Because I get it that, you know, you don't want a great big pile of snow in the middle for, you know, a day until you get back around to it. Is that something that's feasible, or what would that require?
We can always look at it. It just becomes a matter of priority. So then it would be, what are we defunding to cover that? And barring those kind of heavy years like we had 2 winters ago, it's a pretty intermittent problem to invest that level of money in.
Yeah, and Your Honor, normally, you know, we have our priority list, so we're plowing major roadways around schools, the hospital, you know, that sort of thing. And we will plow down Broadway, but normally Broadway is one of the first streets that we will come in the morning early, cut it and pick it up. But that's after we take care of all of the other major stuff. But normally Broadway is one of the ones that we do come in and clean up, usually first off.
I wonder too, if his concern is less with the street and more with when we clear the sidewalk and there's the snow that gets piled up, and he's thinking that that's coming from the road as opposed to off of that, because the sidewalk's fairly broad. And it does tend to pile up. But again, we are very grateful because the sidewalk that goes in front of my office building is one of the walks that's cleared. And sometimes there are snow piles, and so we go out with a shovel and move them because our clients have mobility issues. But it saves us a whole lot of work to just have to move the pile as opposed to having to shovel the whole walk. So there's maybe a different perspective to view it from. Okay. Anybody else?
Your Honor. Oh, you were close. With it being December, I thought I would bring it up that people should be trying to buy locally, buy downtown, be in the Christmas spirit. Bunning Park is all lit up and looking wonderful. We've got the parade coming up this Saturday, and I hope that everybody is very careful through the season. And if you drink and drive, be very careful.
Chief First Palmer, do you have a comment?
Coming from a police officer.
Because the law enforcement's out there.
They'll get you. Very good.
Maybe just rephrase that. Be careful. Don't drink and drive.
Yeah, I think that's a better advice.
That's what I meant.
Okay, we are adjourned.
I'm so eloquent.